Fear not, fans of the Average Nobodies podcast. We are all alive and semi-well. It's been a while. It's been a little over a month, but we are here, episode 134,
Ooh.
recording this evening, the evening of November 18th, 2021, a partial lunar eclipse evening, which is pretty fancy. I am Ryan. With me is
Adam's here.
and Matt
here.
The self-proclaimed leader of the Free Britney movement. That's what I've been hearing, Matt? Is that why we haven't recorded in so long?
See, yes, I've been busy, hard at work. Britney is finally relieved of her, or not relieved, I guess is not the right word, but she is out of her conservatorship. But I have an interesting twist on this, and I thought for some reason I had a dream about like Britney throwing this large party at her house, right, in Las Vegas. And to celebrate off the conservatorship, she's got control of her money again. She's got control of her body again fully. And then Britney, all of a sudden now everybody's like, yeah, free Britney, free Britney. But did anybody like question whether or not that she would just like flip back to her like psychotic stint from like the early 2000s? And be like, and start going around to people and be like, oh, I'm so happy to be out of my conservatorship. My dad's such a dick. Like, manager's such a dick. All that shit was terrible that happened to her. And then she's like, I got a great idea, and I got a guy that can make it happen. Like, we're gonna get these guinea pigs, right? We're gonna get a bunch of guinea pigs, and I know a guy that can work mind control, and then everybody's like, oh no, this is a terrible idea. And then all of a sudden now Britney's burning through her money on this like guinea pig mind control operation. You know what I mean? Like no one questioned whether or not she's gonna like go nuts again. Maybe she's just playing us all.
Yeah, I feel like there wasn't a lot of kind of like quality control on her end to see if like should she be. Yes, I think as an adult she should be in charge of like her estate and all the money she's made, but everyone's really focusing on how evil her dad was, yet no one's stopping this, hypothetical guinea pig. And the thing is, if that happened, I can guarantee she would have thousands of people follow her. Like if she started a cult today,
oh yeah,
no questions asked.
For sure. We watch a lot of these cult documentaries. She would be a prime candidate to start a cult. Like it would be maybe Taylor Swift, her number one, and like 1A is Britney Spears, and everybody, like a ton of people would follow her to this cult. Yeah. There'd be no questions about it. But I just think it's fine, hilarious. It's like all of a sudden, like her friends, like I picture her friends like going and start hanging out with her now that she has like full control of her money, and she's like getting into all these like investment opportunities for all these. I picture her. Let me break it down. I picture her one day going on Instagram and being like, I'd like to introduce you all to my new friend and mentor, David DeAngelis. And then it's like, oh no.
But like we're the only ones who know what that means. Like everyone's like, oh, okay. So she's got like a new.
Well, I'll give this guy a shot. If Britney likes him, he must be all right.
Oh, I love Dave. I love you, Dave. That would be hilarious. Britney and Dave together might be a 1-2 punch that the world couldn't survive.
Yeah. I mean, there's no guarantee that it wouldn't be like wildly successful.
It's right. That's the thing. It's like I make jokes here, but there is a very real possibility that somehow they become like emperor and empress of the world, and it's all over.
Because I feel like Dave's wild and crazy enough that he just needs to get his message out there a little bit wider, like cast that net a little wider, which Britney could help with, and then the floodgates are open.
Yeah. We weren't able to cast the net out that far, but Britney though.
But Britney might be, especially current day Britney. I will say it does. Holly and I were actually talking about it, and Holly's like, "Oh, like, did you see? The conservatorship is over." And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, a little worried, like a little.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like
I'm happy for her, but at the same time, it's like, okay, and
yeah, I'm making these jokes, but that's kind of where I lie too.
Because it's gonna, and especially with the media, my God, she's gonna be under a microscope. Anything.
Oh, how long before people start like begging her for new music and stuff?
They're gonna drive her back into.
Remember that episode of South Park?
That
episode of South Park about Britney Spears?
Yeah.
Britney,
I
wow.
guarantee you, next season of South Park, they will have another Britney Watch episode.
Oh yeah.
Guaranteed.
Definitely, for sure.
That is one of the funniest ones. Britney Watch.
Britney, ouch. Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's like the 2009, 2010, or 2008, 2010, like area that like Britney could easily like flip back to that people don't realize. It's like now all of a sudden she has people like begging her for music, and I think she still does her residency in Las Vegas, doesn't she?
I don't know if she has that anymore.
I'm going to go ahead and say no.
Yeah, I don't think she has it,
No?
but I also don't think it would be very hard if she wanted to get it back.
Yeah, and also like she goes on a tour and she's gonna
Oh
make
God, a gazillion dollars.
Yeah. Ryan.
Yes.
So I hear it's a good day for celebrities.
It is a great day for celebrity birthdays, everybody. I got 8 solid birthdays. You're gonna get all 8.
What
Well,
time?
you're gonna-
What time is it though?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
What's
Matt,
that?
what
Yeah,
time is it?
Oh, it's
It's time for everyone's favorite game show, Celebrity Birthdays.
It's Ryan. All right. So we have 8. So I should say you're gonna get 6 of the 8. You're gonna know.
Okay.
I believe you'll know the other 2. You might not get them from and that might be more my clues than your ineptitude. And I can't see Matt, so we're gonna go with the cause system. So I need a refresher on the cause. Adam, you go first.
Caw.
Matt. Okay. Ooh, very similar.
is that I can well how about I can do call.
Ooh, like a little southern call.
Yeah,
I like it.
call.
Caw.
Oh,
Call. I'm gonna go to Cracker Barrel.
get me some jam. Okay. Not sure what that means. All right. Let's get started.
Okay.
First up, this birthday boy is so hot right now. And if he ever crashes your wedding, make sure to check that his wedding gift doesn't have
fuck.
too much goddamn lacquer on it. Matt,
That would be Mr. Owen
that
Wilson.
is correct.
I
Owen Wilson.
raised my hand right away. I immediately forgot about the caw.
I can't even see you because your Skype keeps going in and out. But the Owen Wilson is very hot.
He is. I know he's in. Is it Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Loki.
Loki, that's what it is. Sorry, I don't watch either of them. But he did host Saturday Night Live, the season premiere, and it was very funny because he literally played Owen Wilson. Like he actually played Owen Wilson in a couple sketches. Like he just played himself. But every character in any other sketch was just like the classic, like, oh, gee shucks, guys, like just really kind of phoned it in. But he knows what works for him. His shtick works.
Yeah, his character in Loki is also very Owen Wilson.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I mean, I do enjoy him though. I think he's like funny. He has really good comedic timing too, so not always a bad thing. But it is Owen Wilson's birthday today, so that's 1 point for Matt. So Matt, how old is Owen Wilson?
Owen Wilson. I'm gonna say he's. I'm gonna say he's 48.
48. Okay, Adam?
I'm gonna go 51.
Close. Owen Wilson is 53 today.
Oh shit.
All right. Next up. This former SNL cast member and Weekend Update host has appeared in quite a few Adam Sandler movies, but you may not recognize him without boobs on his head or so much Botox the water spills out of his mouth. Adam.
Is it Kevin Nealon?
It is Kevin Nealon. Happy birthday, Kevin Nealon. Very, very funny actor, comedian. How old is Kevin Nealon today? Yeah, the gatekeeper. Official name is Lil Nicky.
Kevin Nealon, huh? Jeez. I'm going to go 59.
Kevin Nealon is 56 years old.
Ooh, a little off. This surprised me too. Kevin Nealon is 68.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
Kevin Nealon's almost 70 years
Crazy,
old.
right?
Wow.
I feel like he's one of those people, like, he looks the same now as he did when he was on SNL in, like, the early 90s.
Yeah.
He never looked old, but he never looked like young. Like he never looked like he was in his 30s. He's like just a forever 50-something-year-old man.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's 68. Surprised me as well. Okay, I'm gonna stick with the SNL theme here. Joining Kevin Nealon in former SNL cast members' birthdays, this actress is just as comfortable marrying a new girl's goofy cop friend as she is being the loyal handmaiden to a princess. Matt.
Nasim Pedrad.
Yes, that is correct. Nasim Pedrad.
An odd role for her in Aladdin. Very odd. Not that odd, but it's just funny to see her.
I'd like to take this opportunity to talk about how much I despise the actor who played Aladdin.
Mina Masood, say his name.
And you know what? No one's ever going to say his name again.
I don't even know how to say it.
I do love Nasim Pedrad, though. She's very funny.
I don't even know a credit card
actress.
Derek texted that to me the other day. I was crying.
What is that from?
Deuce Bigelow, too.
Deuce Bigelow.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know.
All right, Matt, first crack. How old is Nasim Pedrad today? I'm going to give you guys a big hint. All right. She's not as old as Kevin Nealon.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, not almost 70. Good. I'm going to say Nasim Pedrad is 34 years old.
I'm going to go a little older, and I'm going to say she is 38.
That's the first
Very close. She is 40 today.
Oh.
Damn. Okay.
All right. Let's see. Next up. From Fargo to the 9-9, this actress is no stranger to playing a cop. While you may mistake her for one of the good girls, she isn't afraid to show you why women kill.
I don't know the actress's name. It's the main girl from season 1 of Fargo, who was like one of Holt's rivals when he was trying to become commissioner.
That is correct. If you can give me a character name, I'll.
Fuck.
I know you know. It's from our favorite season of Fargo, Matt.
Oh my god, and I know her name too. Like I know her actual name. Hold on.
Lori Beth Denberg.
Correct. No.
It's offensive. Fuck, I don't know. It's gonna kill me because I know her. She writes a lot of stuff too. She wrote some of. I don't know if she wrote some of Fargo, but she's a writer.
Her name is Allison Tolman.
No, would have never gotten it.
Fuck.
Yeah.
What's the character's name in Fargo?
Damn it.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know.
I will look it up right now. Oh, Molly Salverson.
Yup.
That's right. All right.
So, Matt, you got the last one, so I'll let you go first for the age.
All right. She is... I'm going to say she's 45.
Okay.
I'm going to go 42.
She and Nasim Pedrad are the same age today. She is 40.
Damn.
40, okay.
Wow. Speaking of Owen Wilson.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Okay. Most of us were introduced to this very funny actor-comedian on a Friday, but he's expanded his acting repertoire since and even solved the mystery behind The Hangover.
Caw. Mike Epps.
Damn.
I was just gonna do the quote from The Hangover where he's like, "Why do they call them roofies? Why don't they call them flories?"
I could be your Mike, Doug. I could be your Mike. Right? No. I could be your Doug.
I could be your Doug. And he's Black Doug from The Hangover. Very
Black Doug. I was trying to think. I was like, "Who the hell is it?" Because I recently watched all 3 Fridays.
Oh, so good.
So he wasn't in the first one, but he was in the second one.
No,
right? Yeah, I was immediately trying to think of the
He's
first,
the cousin,
like from the first Friday. I thought maybe Debo snuck in there.
Not him. So Matt, how old is Mike
Epps? Mike Epps, I think he's one of those ones where he is older than I think he is. So. I'm gonna say Mike Epps is 59 years old.
Whoa.
All right.
Yeah. Knocking on 60.
Knocking on listen, if Kevin Nealon can be knocking on 70.
I'm gonna go with 52.
Man, right there, Adam. He's 51.
Fuck!
Oh shit. Okay.
I've been like 1 or 2 off on almost all of the ages, except for Kevin Nealon, apparently,
Yeah.
who's agent.
110. All right, 3 more left.
Excellent.
A favorite muse of director Spike Lee's, this British actor wanted to get shorty in the 90s, find treasure in the Sahara with McConaughey in the 2000s, and most recently was one of the 5 Bloods alongside Lester Freeman and Clay Davis.
Shit. Could you start again?
Yep. A favorite muse of director Spike Lee's, this British actor wanted to get shorty in the 90s, find treasure in the Sahara with McConaughey in the 2000s, and most recently was one of the 5 Bloods alongside Lester Freeman and Clay Davis.
Shit.
You definitely know what this guy looks like. You might not know his name, but he's a pretty popular actor.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why I can't picture him in Sahara. Is he one of the main characters in Sahara?
He's not.
See,
Is
that's
it-
why. Okay. 'Cause
Is
I know
it Tony Todd?
it's not
Is that his
Steve.
name?
No.
No,
He's
that's the guy
also-
from Candyman.
He's also in The Harder They Fall, the new Netflix movie.
Oh, I haven't seen it
I
yet.
didn't see Defy.
British actor.
But you wouldn't really know it by his roles.
I got
Yeah, me neither.
It is Delroy Lindo.
Oh yeah.
So he was in Get Shorty,
Yeah.
Sahara, The 5 Bloods. He's in The Harder They Fall.
This
He's in
guy's
Malcolm X.
British?
Oh
Whoa.
wait. I am upset with you. That is the guy from Gone in 60 Seconds.
He is.
That is the cop from Gone in
Oh,
60
yeah.
Seconds. If you had said that, I would have had it.
He's
I
also
know.
in Justine's favorite version of Point Break, the one from 2015.
He's in a lot of stuff.
Ugh.
I know. I should have put the Gone in 60 Seconds one in there.
Oh, he's in The Core. Remember that
Oh,
movie?
who can forget about the core?
All right.
All right. How old is Delroy Lindo today?
Oh, I didn't look.
Oh,
I didn't
man.
look at
That's
Yeah,
pressure.
no, I just want to see his face. Adam, you go.
Delroy Lindo is 74 years old.
Okay.
Oh, that's old. He might be that old though. I'm gonna say he's 69.
Nice.
And you are correct. He is 69.
No!
Hey,
Oh.
let's go!
Big time age
All
guess
right.
from Matt. All right, we got 2 more left. You're definitely going to get both these 2.
Excellent.
This Cuban-born actor has had a solid TV and movie career, but he'll always be known as the accountant who is outed by his boss, is unimpressed by state senators, and finds posters of babies playing instruments in their diapers way more offensive than hardcore pornography. Adam.
Is it his name's Oscar? Is it Oscar Nunez? Is that his
It is-
name?
It's Oscar Nunez,
Very good.
also
very
known
good.
as Oscar from The Office.
You know what's funny? I just finished a light rewatch of The Office too. No, I wouldn't have gotten that. I don't think I would have gotten that otherwise, unless I was fresh off of it.
No?
I don't think.
Yeah,
so.
I didn't want to be like, I didn't want to.
Because I noticed that that was his real name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's Oscar. Creed is the real name. There's another one, Angela.
Creed
That's her real
plays
name.
Itself, apparently.
Angela. That's her real name.
Mm-hmm. Meredith and Phyllis too, right?
No, Meredith is something else.
No, whatever.
Yeah, you're an idiot. All right. What? What? How old is Oscar Nunez today?
He's 57.
He's 53.
Replace that 5 with the 6, and you were correct. He's 63 today.
Oh,
Ah,
63?
damn, shit.
63.
holy shit!
Wow, that's
I know.
crazy. People are old, man.
All right, final one.
I'm old.
I'm old. All right. This funny man followed in his famous father's footsteps. Say that 5 times fast. Makes for a great coach and always leaves us satisfied with happy endings.
Oh,
Matt.
oh. He's Wayans. He's a Wayans. Mulligan. Fuck. Marlon. I don't know. I'm gonna say Marlon Wayans. It's not correct. Shit.
Damon Wayans.
Well, that's
Damon Wayans
Jr.
Jr. is correct. Sorry, Matt.
I'll only give myself a half a point for that one.
I fucking.
We'll
Totally
give you each.
blamed
We'll
him.
give you each a half because you got the half.
No.
Yeah,
You got the
I gave
Wayans.
you a half. I gave you a half, and you're taking the half.
It is Damon Wayans Jr.'s birthday. His father, Damon Wayans, is also a very funny comedian.
So I feel like he's probably another one that's older than he looks.
What's that supposed to mean?
How old is he?
I'm gonna guess he is 41.
Matt the Rat.
I'm gonna say he's 40.
39.
Oh no!
I went 41 because I figured because I thought he looked like he's in his late 30s.
How does the Wayans family go?
I don't know.
Because there's the two Wayans that are in Don't Be a Menace. You know that movie? The spoof
so
on
it's
like
Keenan Ivory Wayans.
Okay.
Is like the oldest.
My mom met
It's like
Keenan
the oldest
Wayans.
brother.
He's the one that's in The Last Boy Scout with Bruce Willis?
Yes. So Sean and Marlon were like the two younger brothers who were together a lot.
They're the ones in White
Yes.
Chicks. Okay, and then there's the older brother that was with Bruce Willis in The Last Boy Scout.
And he
then
started
this is the son.
in Living Color.
Yes, right. That's what I'm thinking. So they are okay. So they're okay. That's where I got confused because I thought that was Sean and Marlon. No, Sean and what's the other one?
Sean, Marlon, and then
One of those
Damon.
White Chicks. Damon. Okay.
I'm looking at this now. They're all involved in film somehow. Dwayne, Keenan, Deirdre, Damon, Kim, Elvira, Sean, and Marlon.
Hold on, Elvira.
Yeah. She's a screenwriter.
It's a strong.
It is a strong name.
Cool. Is that it? That was a hell of a fucking celebrity.
Thank you.
birthday.
Wait,
And
should I
there
do
were
the
some.
birthday? How old is he? Oh no, we did it already.
He's 39. And also,
Okay.
there is one, so it's not technically her birthday, but she is a tiny baby. She is the apple of my eye. Today is the 8-month birthday of Glenn
my
in
God.
Carolina.
I was gonna say, was she born in March?
Yeah.
I was like,
Well-
she was born on the Zack Snyder
Zack
Justice League.
Snyder,
I mean,
Justice
Before you
League.
turn 1, you just do the months. So,
Oh.
and in his 8 months,
Wow, 8 months.
she's
that's
sleeping.
Crazy.
So, or else
Wake
she would
her
be-
up.
No, took
No,
us
she-
took
get
us a
her up.
while to get her down.
Leonard!
Yeah.
Happy birthday! What the fuck? So, just for today, the official score: Matt with 4.5. Big day for the
Wow.
mattress, and 2.5 for Adam.
Hey, I'll take it.
No other choice.
All right.
That's it for this episode's edition of Celebrity Birthdays.
Who was it? And now a word from our sponsor.
Today's sponsor is Justine.
Kicking our butts.
She forced us into this. She's actually off screen right now holding a gun to my head. You can't see her. No, but for real, it's been a crazy last month and a half now that we haven't been on. And I've just been super busy, so it falls on me, Justine. If you're gonna kill anybody, you can go ahead and pull the trigger.
No, I've been hella busy too. I've been doing work at my house almost every night for what feels like an eternity.
I do miss it though, so I'm happy to be back. We're not gonna do a draft today. I hope that's okay with everybody. Mike, Justine.
I haven't been doing anything, so I've just been sitting here on my computer waiting.
Recording a podcast all by yourself that nobody listens to.
Back to you, Ryan.
But
The ramblings of a madman.
with all the time off, we've been watching a lot, I assume.
Yeah.
So we will go through that list of what we've been watching. I'm gonna actually bring up my Letterboxd app because I forgot everything that I watched, but I do review everything.
Should we? I think we
So-
should start with Dune,
Oh, I didn't
good
put that
point.
on here.
Yes, good point.
right? Because we
So-
saw it together.
We did.
Yeah. So, Dune in IMAX was probably
Knock your socks off.
it was probably the best IMAX experience that I've ever had.
Wow.
Like maybe outside of maybe Avatar, but I didn't like Avatar as much. And Avatar was a lot of smoke and mirrors, like, you know, like fucking excitement and like the 3D glasses. I'm not a huge fan
Not a lot of
3D,
substance.
but the scope of it was amazing. I can also remember us seeing. Yeah, there you go. Oh wait, are those two other books?
These are the next two.
Wait, but they still have to finish the original book in the next movie.
So the
Okay.
original book is
We'll get to that in a second.
3 parts, and like 90% of that movie was the first part.
Okay, so the second movie is gonna be the last 2 parts. The other thing I can think of, like right off the top of my head, as far as IMAX experiences, would have been when we saw the Dark Knight in Virginia Beach.
That's what I was going to say. That's what it kind of reminded me of. Just like it was an experience. Like, yes, you're watching a movie, but it was like so much more than that. And it reminded me of when I saw The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises in IMAX too.
So I saw Interstellar in IMAX, and it that is my favorite movie. The favorite movie that I've seen in IMAX was Interstellar. I also like really enjoyed the 2014 Godzilla in IMAX, the one with Bryan Cranston and Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Big fan of the podcast. Bryan Cranston.
Yes.
Matt, Prometheus was sick in IMAX.
Prometheus was great. I can remember that one pretty vividly. I like that one. It's all the movies that have like to take advantage of IMAX. And in this movie, they didn't shoot all of it, but I think it's like 70-something% was shot in IMAX cameras. And you can like the full frame of the one. My fucking gripe is that Providence needs to fucking change the bulb on their projector because there's pictures out. Those bitches, or whatever they have to do to whatever fixes that. I don't even know if it's the bulb, but there's pixels out and you can see them. But when it's going, you can't really tell. But yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing to see it, and I'm so impressed with the director, Denis, right?
Denis Villeneuve, right? Just kind of let it drift away.
I'm so impressed with his ability to boil this book down. Not boil it down, but tell the story that's happening in this book that has been so daunting for so many people. When you talk to people about Dune before the movie came out, they will tell you, yeah, I read the book, it's amazing, but you also get a lot of people saying, like, I could not get into the book because of how overwhelming it is. Because of all these new words and what's going on and all the different family names and the planets and all this, like, total world building. He was able to, in 2 hours and, 40 minutes?
Yeah.
2 hours and 40 minutes, which seems like a lot, but it hums.
Oh man. He blew through it. It went by quick.
I agree with you, Matt, though. That was the most impressive thing to me. And really the thing I was most worried about is, as I'm, because you're like watching a movie and you want to enjoy it, but like, am I going to get less enjoyment out of it by trying to figure out what's going on? Because I went in, with really nothing. I mean, I hadn't read any of the books. I didn't watch the original movie, but he did such a fantastic job of world building, of like creating these characters, of putting the story together. So that way you could just focus on enjoying what you were watching and just being blown away by the filmmaking and the directing of it. You didn't have to worry about trying to catch up, and like I didn't have to lean over to Adam and say, wait, who was that, or what was that, or what's going on? Like and it seemed like almost too big of a task, but he knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. And I saw in an interview that he said that like that was one of his goals of the movie, was like setting up and building this world. But like when they do Dune Part 2, it's going to be all gas because you're already set up.
Yeah.
Right. Which
I like
is cool.
that.
That's very cool.
I'll tell you, they did a really good job of like, you're never going to get the whole book into a movie. It would need to be a series in order for that to happen. One part that they like, the biggest piece that I feel like they cut was they there was a big chunk of that first part of Dune where they're like trying to figure out who attempted to assassinate Paul. They're like, is it the mother? Is it this person? Is it that person? You know, is there somebody on the inside? Like that's a big part because there's like a lot of tension between, you know, the Leto and Jessica. There's a lot of tension between the two of them until like he comes to the conclusion that like she would never, like she loves Paul too much. So there's a lot about that, and like nobody trusting her because she's one of the like Bene Gesserit. I don't even know how to pronounce these words.
The Bene Gesserit?
Yeah, something like that. So that was a big part they cut out, which is okay. I feel like they wrapped up on Caladan pretty well, their home planet. They wrapped up there pretty well. There's one like a piece that I really wish they kept. There's like a greater conversation between the Baron and Leto before Leto does the, spoiler alert, poison gas to the room. There's a bigger conversation between the two of them. And I also feel like the guy, so it's called a Mentat. His name in the movie was Peter de Vries, and he's the Baron's Mentat, which is like basically a human computer. And
the guy, the polka dot man from Suicide Squad.
David
Dark Knight, right?
Yeah. So
and also,
I feel like that character like had a bigger role in the book too, because you really didn't know it. Like it seemed like he had he meets the same fate, but it felt like he had an agenda that he just never got to. Like he could never get to.
What that guy is that like a race of people, or are they made?
They're made.
Okay, because I was gonna say, because what's his name also?
Right, the short heavy set guy.
Yeah, but he was also head of security as well. So is that just like they just kind of like put them in any role, like kind of like a like a droid?
I would say that like so, Jason Momoa and Josh Brolin were the two characters that were like the heads of security, or well, I would say Josh Brolin was probably the head of security. Where like Jason Momoa's character is like the biggest badass in the universe.
I love that I saw a tweet. It was like, it is the year 2000, what is it, 2100 and whatever. And it's like, we have mastered intergalactic travel. The most badass person in the universe name is Duncan Idaho.
It sounds like a name
which
that like you would see in like the original Point Break movie, you know, like something like that.
Well, yeah, right, yeah. Well, I just think it's, and I don't know for sure, and I don't know how they view like the past, but it could be like this really like cool homage to the past of like previous people, like the world that we know as present day. Duncan Idaho is like, that's just like two very hokey things, like a very like funny first name and Idaho, you know. But I don't know, like, you know what I mean? I don't know exactly like this, like how we picture like old names like from back in the day, like as like these great
like
figures,
Clark Gable,
you know,
like something like that. Like Clark Gable, that's not a
like
modern
that,
name,
like,
you know. That's like that would remind you of a certain time. Yeah,
right. But back in the day, it's like, okay,
Duncan.
Yeah. So
I had a question. So I was talking to Justine about Dune, and she loved it. She didn't see it in IMAX, but she thought it was great. But she's like, it was probably like one of the most like beautifully cast movies of all time. Like how beautiful each cast member was, you know, like beautiful or handsome. Do you think the scene where Leto like does the poison capsule, do you think his character was naked only because it was Oscar Isaac, or is that like integral to the plot somehow?
I think he like that's part of their conversation. Like he strips him naked to like embarrass him. Yeah, which you know.
More embarrassed me watching it. Like,
what a gorgeous head of hair and beard Oscar Isaac has in that movie.
I mean, you got him, Chalamet, Jason Momoa,
Rebecca Ferguson is gorgeous. Rebecca Ferguson is gorgeous.
So
Zendaya, she's so good.
To me, Rebecca Ferguson was like spot on casting, incredible casting. And then like Timothée Chalamet was amazing. Like all of the casting, they fucking nailed it. Almost like every single one, I would say. Every single one.
Adam, didn't you say her casting in Doctor Sleep was also spot
Yes.
on with the book?
Yes.
She just has that
So
way
maybe
about
she's
her.
just
She
a
was
really
awesome
good
in The Greatest
actress.
Showman too.
Yeah. So like when I saw the newest Mission Impossible, it was like shortly. It was before I read this book, and I was like, it has to be her. Like I was picturing her as I was reading it. I thought it was, and then shortly after that, I read Doctor Sleep, and so that, I mean, for me, that might have had something to do with it. But she fits both of them perfectly. And who else?
Very cool.
I didn't see Duncan as Jason Momoa, but it works. It's like it works as almost like in the same way that it works for him as Aquaman. You know what I mean? It's like unexpected, but he's like so invested, and he's like he becomes that, like he is that person.
After reading the book, who would you have casted? Like, who did you have in mind when you were reading the book?
I don't know.
Like a Dave Bautista? Like, would have Dave Bautista been better in that role?
No, not like a like. I don't know. I have to think about it. I mean, I didn't picture anybody really for him.
I thought he was great too, but I didn't really go in with any.
I didn't picture him because he doesn't make it very far in that book.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it. Saw it twice in IMAX.
Love the score too. Weird Hans Zimmer did a good score.
Yes.
But it was so like I remember being like watching
Weird,
it, and it was like
Hans
intimidating. Like, the score was like in your face.
When the Harkonnens attack, you feel like you're there.
Yeah, it was so well done. I mean, it was an experience. I mean, I think that's the highest compliment you can kind of give it. It wasn't just like watching a movie. You just like felt you were just so into it. I loved it so much. I thought it was great.
I also felt like to talk about world building again, I think they did with so much sci-fi shit being packed into our brains, like with all this like excessive Star Wars stuff that we've been getting, and Star Wars in general, and all like sci-fi movies. I feel like this did such a good job of making this like super futuristic world, and all these ships and things that people wear and weapons that feel like a different like a totally different universe than ours, but it's like sci-fi. Like that, the Emperor's ship is this perfect spherical like ball, and it's like that's not a spaceship. Like that makes no sense as a spaceship, but it is. And then you have like these giant sand harvesters where the Harkonnen had their own kind, which kind of looked like these like four-legged like bugs. And then the ones that were left on planet were like these giant like tank things. It's just like all the ships and everything were very very cool and very well done, and like felt like something totally new.
It built its own like, unique world.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm like. It just like goes back to. It seems like you look at all this stuff, and it truly seems like a sci-fi movie from like the 70s or the 80s, like the original Dune. Like it feels like that, right? It was the 80s, the original Dune movie.
Yeah.
But it feels like one of those old timey like sci-fi movies where like this is science fiction. Like look at all this like crazy like ships, and I don't know. I liked it all. I like the look.
Yeah, it was just like a very active imagination to it, which I appreciate.
Yeah,
like because that doesn't always work. Sometimes it can seem silly but it worked. I thought almost everything they did worked. I loved it.
Yeah, the suits of armor for like the Harkonnen people and also for the Emperor's Guard, like their shit was awesome. And like that scene where they're in like the old water reclaimer or whatever you want to call it on the planet, and they that's when spoiler alert, when like Duncan Idaho has his last stand, where they like come down like very quietly.
Yeah, and they're wearing. They quickly established that group of guys, like the Sardaukar, I think they are. They like quickly you know right away that like this is the most badass group of dudes in the galaxy.
Yeah. Very cool. Very fucking cool. What else? I saw in theaters. I saw Venom 2. I know you, Adam, you haven't seen that yet. Very good. I think that they looked at Venom, the first Venom movie with Tom Hardy, and they were like, okay, people didn't take this one seriously, but they did like a lot of things about it. So let's take all those things and put them in the forefront. So there's a lot of good, like, Tom Hardy helped write this. There's a lot of great lines from Venom where, like, it's almost like Tom Hardy and Venom are almost like Tom Hardy's on stage and Venom is the two old men up in the booth, like the Muppet guys. Yeah, like it's almost like that, and it's like quick, and there's like little, there's like lines that you wouldn't like. Tom Hardy is acting out the scene by himself, and then Venom will interject, but Tom Hardy won't necessarily react to anything he's saying because he's so sick of just like fucking hearing Venom all the time. It's very good. I enjoyed it a lot. Did I talk to you guys about Calls? I think I already did. I'm trying to see how far.
Yeah, you mentioned it to me.
Yeah, so Calls was great. That's the one it's only like visuals. There's no people. It's
Is that the one on Apple?
And
Yes.
Yes. That I've been watching Succession. It's been fucking fantastic.
Oh my god.
I haven't started Yellowstone yet, but I'm all caught up except for the new season. And Curb Your Enthusiasm, which admittedly Lindy loves it. Like Lindy loves Curb Your Enthusiasm, like not many other things, and like maybe not.
That's
as
so
much as
funny.
me. And she loves Larry David. I think it's good. I don't think it's great. I think the last season of Curb was really good, but it wasn't as good as the other seasons. I don't think this is even as good.
Have you
as that.
watched all the episodes this season?
I haven't watched the most recent one, but I watched like Angel Baby, the dog one.
Did you watch the one with the dinner party?
The one where he plops down on the couch?
No. Is that the one where they have the dinner party? It's him, Vince Vaughn, Patton Oswalt, Richard Kind.
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
So that it's not the most recent one, it's the one before that. And there's like an extended scene with it's Larry David, Susie, Patton Oswalt, Richard Kind, Vince Vaughn, and there's a couple other actors in it. And the whole premise is like when you have a dinner party, whoever's sitting in the middle seat has to be like a good facilitator, or else the conversation, goes crazy. And they just like let it go for like 5 minutes. And Richard Kind and whoever his date is are just talking to each other across the table about nonsense. And they're just, the camera's just like going to Larry David, going to Vince Vaughn, going to Patton Oswalt. And they're just like so like bored and it's so funny. I was like dying laughing. It was like one of the funnier things I've seen on that show in a while. But I agree. I mean, this season's been okay, but I do love Larry David too. I think he's funny, but not as good as the early seasons.
Not. Yeah, no, and it's so funny too because like I find him very funny, and maybe it's just because like I find anything that he does funny, like just the way he does things.
Looks at life.
So, yeah, and like the other like obviously Susie is always great. Jeff Garlin, I can take or leave a lot in a lot of scenes, but he's good like playing off of Larry David. So I don't know, but it's been decent. So, and that's about it. I mean, I'm all caught up with What We Do in the Shadows.
Yep, same. Hilarious finale.
Very funny.
Yes, great. That show is all. If you are not watching What We Do in the Shadows, get Hulu and watch
this
that.
might have outside of the Jackie Daytona episode, this might have been the funniest season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just really consistent and like great story too.
Well, though in the episode where they go to the casino and they're all sitting at the table and Naja is like prodding Guillermo about like does he have a girlfriend? Like who the fuck are you seeing, you little fuck? I love it when he like gets mad at him. She like in the same way that I feel like, this might be a unique opinion, but I think Elaine makes Seinfeld. And I think in the same way, she makes that show. She makes What We Do in the Shadows. Like the female character that's like one of the guys. You know what I mean?
But like
I
if
think
she
it's-
wasn't there, it
Yeah.
wouldn't have the same appeal. Like you need her.
Right. Like there was no Nadja in the movie version of What We Do in the Shadows, and I think that hurt it.
That's like
Like-
the big difference.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because there's no like Laszlo for Nadja either. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that would have given the sort of playboy
That was-
vampire, suave vampire character like another dimension.
The Laszlo's still my
Laszlo, yeah, Laszlo is my
The
favorite.
man knows his cars.
Man knows his cars.
He's so good. He's
Saying all these other words, I don't even know what they are. I just, oh,
It's
man.
just before we get off on a tangent too much. Remember, you know how like there's been all that. Have you seen like how Chris Pratt is being cast as like Super Mario and he's Garfield? I saw somebody on my Twitter timeline say like it was a picture of Matt Berry, Laszlo, next to Garfield. Like this is the only choice to be Garfield. That would be perfect.
That would be perfect.
Yeah, it's so good. So watch that if you haven't seen it. And then the last thing that I want to talk about for what I've been watching is Adam, the Spider-Man trailer.
Oh,
Are you fucking kidding me?
dude, it was perfect. I was actually Derek and I talked about it the other day. It was perfect.
Ryan, did you watch it?
I have no interest in it. I'm sorry. I don't want to be a.
Yeah, no, I know you have no interest. I didn't know if you like happened to like because it was like all
Yeah, I saw
I
it.
told Ryan that he should come to the theaters and see it with us, like blind, just to see what he thinks.
that. I honestly think you should because I think it's going to be such a wild like. It's just like it's going to be a lot of shit that's going to go over your head, but it's still going to be awesome in theater. Like you know what I mean? Like you're still going to be like, oh my god! Like
I
what
did
the
hear
fuck?
my boy
It's like-
Willem Dafoe's going to be in it.
Oh yes.
I'll only go if he plays the same character as he did in The Lighthouse. That's what.
Yeah, so I was. Chad was talking to me about it, and he was like, he's like, how are they going to get around like Willem Dafoe being like 70 years old?
Yeah.
And I'm like, he'll just be the same exact
It
character.
doesn't.
he was in
Yeah,
The Lighthouse.
doesn't. Willem Dafoe can figure it out.
Why'd you spill your beans?
the
Why'd you spill your beans, Peter?
only thing I saw
Uh,
about that was they interviewed Kirsten Dunst. I guess seeing like I don't know, asking if she's going to be in it or whatever, and she made a comment that her and Toby Mcguire their pay, there was a huge disparity. Isn't the movie called Spider-Man?
He's the lead.
Right? Like,
Spider-Man is the lead.
I agree with yes, women and men should be paid the same thing, but I think the guy who plays Spider-Man should get
Yes.
more than
It's not.
I
you
don't.
can do a Spider-Man movie without Mary Jane. See, the Amazing Spider-Man.
Right. You need Spider-Man in there.
Yeah, I think that's just kind of. I mean, I agree
Yeah.
with you, Ryan. Like equal pay, all that, but it's not.
Not in
the-
Spider.
It's not. Yeah.
Well, I did not see the trailer, but I'm happy.
If the
I'm
movie
sh-
was called like Spider-Man and Woman, okay.
Well, no, but if
Spider-Man.
it was, if like Chris Pine was getting paid more than Gal Gadot and Wonder Woman, okay, now we got a big problem.
we got a problem
She's
here.
Wonder Woman.
Right.
Like,
Exactly. Thank you.
But-
That's the perfect one.
I'm also positive that Tom Holland was paid more than Tobey Maguire.
Right.
I mean, I would
Tobey
guarantee.
You're gonna go
Maguire's-
back and give Toby
Tobey
retro
Maguire's
checks
stinks.
for playing the same character.
So now
I don't
is
know. Yeah, do you think he gets?
is Toby Maguire and Andrew Garfield going to be in this movie, or is it just rumors? I saw a tweet from Robbie Barstool saying they were not going to be in it.
They're not in the trailer,
Yeah, they're
but
not
their
in the trailer.
villains are.
and there's also like there's this. I don't know, Adam, if you saw this, but there's like people break down the trailer, and I watched one of the videos of them breaking down the trailer, and in one of the scenes, Lizard and there's like this like ultimate scene where it's Tom Holland coming in from the left, and it's Sandman, Lizard, and Electro coming in from the right. So it's 3-on-1. But in reality, people are saying that the other two Spider-Men were cut from that scene because there's a split second where Lizard gets like his head gets
Yeah.
kicked, and it's like
he gets
there's nothing
kicked
there
by
kicking
air.
him.
Like there's nothing there, so
Yeah.
it's like digitally edited out.
So like a second by second breakdown of the trailer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a
Yeah.
million of them. You could go watch them, but like it's so cool. Like you got, and then now like so I want to give props to Sony and to Marvel for making this trailer the exact trailer
Yes.
that we needed for this movie.
Because it confirmed
It-
all of like the villain rumors that have been flying around.
Yeah.
But it didn't confirm the hero rumors that have been floating around. And that's the most important part. Because
Yeah, you need to leave a little
Toby
bit
and
something.
Andrew have been really good about keeping the lid on it. but like Willem Dafoe and Alfred Molina and Jamie Foxx have not been good at it. Alfred Molina said straight up in an interview, he's like, "Yeah, I'm playing Doc Ock in the new Spider-Man movie." Oh,
well, you see, with Alfred Molina though, he's not expected to get what's going on in Marvel. There's not a chance he's even watched one of those movies since.
That's Willem Dafoe. Like Willem Dafoe lives in like a shack down by the river. Like he doesn't know what's happening.
And the trailer also did a good job of bringing up more intrigue away from Spider-Man. Alfred Molina's character, it leads us to believe that there's going to be several Alfred Molina Doc Ocks in that movie, which is kind of crazy. So I'm totally into that, and like, yeah, I'm so into the idea of Doc Ock like aligning with Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
So yeah, I was thinking about this. I think that the villains and the heroes will like phase in and out, and they'll very rarely be together in the movie. But then at the end, because Doctor Strange at the end of the trailer, Doctor Strange says they're coming through now, like they're all coming through.
Yeah, I can't
right,
stop
and
it.
I think that's when they all come in, and I think that lines up in Loki. There's an event at the end where like the timelines break down. And I think those two events line up.
Yep.
So,
very excited for that. So that's my list. I'm sure there's more over the past month and a half that we've been away, but that's all the important things.
I'll go through mine. Mine isn't. So I've also been watching What We Do in the Shadows. I'm caught up on Yellowstone to date. What a show. What a show. After the first handful of episodes, I was like, I don't know. But then it like really picked up. Jen was out after the first episode. I've been waiting months to watch this show with her. We sat down, we watched the first episode. She's out. Too many dead animals. So I'm glad I waited.
Well, you got to know that's not like going to be a running theme.
Or, they're fake.
Right.
So it doesn't matter.
Not really killing animals.
Right. But awesome show. If anything happens to Beth, I'll throw myself off a bridge.
Yeah. Same.
I watched Lock and Key, which I enjoyed. Fun show, and like, it gets a little ridiculous, but it's. I'm imagining it's for like kids and teens.
I mean, it's a little far fetched.
It's a little far fetched. I was texting Ryan. The mom in the show is like this redheaded woman, and she's cute. Like she's cute. But then in the second season, she gets a love interest, and like this guy is a rocket. This guy is very handsome. That is the most unbelievable part of the show. That this guy would be interested in her.
I don't know. I've never seen him before, but their relationship is more unbelievable than the magical keys.
Right, it is. Doesn't make any sense.
No.
Then the what?
The magic keys?
Yeah, the premise. It's like there's magical keys that create these doors to like other universes in the past and the future and all this stuff. That's more believable.
Make you super strong, make you fly, like make you be a ghost. But the most unbelievable part of the show is their relationship. I watched Leon the Professional. It's on Netflix. It's a strong recommend from me with Jean Reno, a very young Natalie Portman, and then Gary Oldman is awesome in this movie. Like I'm assuming Justine has seen this and will back me up. Very good movie. It's Jean Reno is a hitman. Natalie Portman is very young. Her family gets killed, and he's the only one she can turn to. And Gary Oldman is the one that killed her family.
I actually watched that. I watched this on my honeymoon.
Did you?
Yeah, it was like when we were in Cape Town. It was like one random night. I just like woke up in the middle of the night and like couldn't fall back to sleep. So I just put on, the TV, whatever channel it was. It must have been because that's like a TNT TBS movie now.
Right.
Like, it would be on one of those channels, and it was just on. And I'm like, huh. So
pretty good.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was.
It's not like an original concept, but like the way it's done is it's. I think I liked it.
I did too.
I watched Army of Thieves on Netflix, the prequel to Army of the Dead. Very good. Loved Dieter. If you guys haven't seen it yet, definitely worth the watch.
Matthias.
Yeah, His real name is Sebastian
Huh.
in the movie. Like that's his. It's a thing.
Okay.
But very good. Today I finished watching Invincible on Prime, and it's like an animated superhero show from the guy that did Walking Dead, Robert Kirkman, and like the voices are almost all Walking Dead characters, which is cool. Glenn Stephen Yun is the main character, and his father is J. Jonah Jameson. What's his fucking name? J.K. Simmons. And Sandra Oh plays the mother. And it's, he's a superhero. The father's a superhero, and the son, played by Steve Yeun, is, finally getting his powers. And there's this, like, Avengers-type group of heroes called the Guardians of the Globe. And in the very first episode, J.K. Simmons's character murders all of them. And it's, like, keeps it a secret. And so, like, from there, it's, like, him trying to keep that secret of that he did it and why he did it, and like the son coming up and getting his powers and trying to be a superhero. It was really good. The anime style doesn't do it for me, but like the voice cast is so good, and it's a really good show. There's a ton. Mahershala Ali does a voice. What's his name? Ezra Miller does a voice. Like it's who else? Fuck. There's one more big one that I'm thinking of. Jonathan Groff does a voice.
Ooh, I like him.
There's in the early seasons of The Walking Dead, there's a lot of Invincible like calls. Like there's comic books laying.
Oh, really?
Invincible comic books.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. But definitely a good watch. And it's like because it's animated, they don't hold back with the violence.
I love that. It's something I've been meaning to watch. I just haven't.
Seth Rogen does a voice. He's like, I'm pretty sure he's an executive producer. I also watched
he's fucking producer.
In preparation for Spider-Man trailer, I watched The Amazing Spider-Man the other day with Andrew Garfield. Very good movie. What's his name? Rhys Ifans plays an awesome lizard. And he's a good villain because he's a doctor and he only has one arm, and he's like trying to create this serum from reptile DNA to grow it back. And he's not ready to, like, him and Peter figure it out how to do it, but they're not ready to try human trials yet. And like this guy that works for Norman Osborn's like, no, we're doing it. And like, you can't stop me. And the only reason he injects himself with the serum is to stop him from injecting some random person at the hospital. So like, that's how and then it makes him go crazy.
Good guy lizard.
Also too, like they were dating at the time, but between Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield, like the chemistry between Peter and Gwen is amazing. Like I can't even imagine they had a script when they were on screen together. They're so good. But awesome movie. And like it's strange because in the Spider-Man trailer they say like, all of these villains died fighting Spider-Man. Lizard doesn't die. And neither does Sandman. So, maybe they die fighting a different version of Spider-Man. I don't know. I watched season 3 of Titans. Awesome. Matt, another one. I'm dying for you to watch it. And last but not least, I've got another new Gen show. It's called The Vampire Diaries. It is fucking absurd. It's one of those ones where it's another one where Jen watches it and I'm in and out. Like I'll see every 3 or 4 episodes. Like I'll watch one episode, go do something, and I'll come back and be like, what the fuck is going on here? They're all out in the day. This one's cursed. This one's a witch. She's she's a main character. She's a doppelganger. What the fuck is that? Like I'm so in and out on it. The main villain, his name's Klaus. And he's this guy, then he's that guy. This show flew so Riverdale could walk. It's that ridiculous. At least they lean into it because it's all like supernatural. But it's another one of those, shows that I was hating on Jen for watching, and now all of a sudden, here I am watching it, and I can't stop. Can't get enough. And that's it for me.
Nice.
So my list, it's like a lot of like what you guys have been watching. So I watched Lock and Key season 2. I thought it was really good. Matt, you haven't seen any of Lock and Key, right?
No,
You'd like it. It's like it's an easy like fun binge, and it's like a good like fantasy show. Like the acting isn't anything to write home about, but it's like a cool premise, and I think it's done really well. Been watching Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like outside of that scene I told you about, like the dinner scene, I it's been funny, but nothing that great. Caught up on Yellowstone. Came back with a bang. I think it's been fantastic.
That first episode, the first episode back was absurd. It was
the first like scene, like the extended like first scene that where like it picked up right where the last season ended was unbelievable.
Yep.
It was so great. So I'm loving that. Succession, I'm officially obsessed with. It's an unbelievable show, and it's a truly unique show. There's no other show anywhere close to that show because it's almost like it shouldn't be a good show. Like, and I saw something Barstool Trent tweeted, I think last night or whenever, and it's so true. He watches Succession. He's like, someone spoiled the latest episode of Succession for me, but they didn't even spoil it. Because like you can tell someone what happens in an episode, and it doesn't matter because you just have to watch it for the acting, for the music, for like the directing, the pacing, like just how they do it. It's such a unique show that it's unspoilable. Like you can't spoil it.
I haven't. That's another one that like I've been waiting for Jen to like. I wanted to watch that show when I saw the very first trailer, and I just haven't. It's
great. It's not a binge by any means.
Just do what I do when I gotta watch stuff with Lindy. Just watch it, and then when you watch it again with Jen, just be surprised.
Yeah, I'm not good at that. I can't do that. I'll be like, hey, watch this. Listen here.
Yeah, I do the same thing. That's why Holly can't watch anything with me. But it's so great. But I mean, I don't know if you'd be able to binge it. And I don't get anxious. I'm not an anxious person. I don't get nervous. Watching this show, like my palms are sweating. Just like
really?
Yeah, they build it up so well, and it's above anything else, it's a family dynamic. You have Brian Cox is Logan Roy, and then it's how he manages his like empire of his like his business, but also how his children fit into that. And it's so like it makes me so anxious watching it, the way they treat each other, the backstabbing, oh my god, it's such a great show. It's as close to like appointment TV as there is, which is weird because again, it's not about spoilers. I just want to watch it. Like I want to see what happens next with these characters. And there's really no characters you're necessarily rooting for, but I don't know. It doesn't, like, the more I explain it, the more I feel like I'm talking people out of watching it, but it's just it's so good against all odds. Like it doesn't make sense why it's so good. I can't explain it. But it's been great so far. So just some things that we haven't talked about. The morning show. I don't know if Matt, if you're watching the season 2. Not yet. The finale's tomorrow. But the first 9 episodes have been solid, and I know I talked about this on the last podcast. So the season 2 is taking place in like March of 2020. So it's like right as COVID is happening. And now COVID is kind of like a full-blown thing as the finale's happening. And it's been really good. So Jennifer Aniston's back in it. Steve Carell's character's back in it. It's really still focusing on the blowback of everything that happened in season 1. Well, I've been enjoying it. It was a little darker than season 1, but it's still been good. Let's see. So I also watched the first episode. So now after Yellowstone on Paramount Network is the Mayor of Kingstown, which is a new show from Taylor Sheridan, who did Yellowstone. And it's Jeremy Renner and Kyle Chandler, Diane Wiest. And it's like a crime drama type show. So Jeremy Renner and Kyle Chandler play brothers. And Kyle Chandler is the mayor of Kingstown, but he's not really the mayor. He's just like, he runs like the underworld like kind of the crime and all that stuff below the surface. Like he's kind of the head guy, keeps everybody in line. And it kind of shows his role, Jeremy Renner's role within, how they.
Oh, so Jeremy Renner's not the.
No, it's Kyle Chandler. Yeah. So it's only been one episode, but you can already tell it's incredibly acted, well cast, but it's just like a really good, gritty, like crime show.
Oh, I can't wait.
Very excited for that. Let's see. And I'm still watching The Lost Symbol for any Dan Brown Da Vinci Code fans out there. He wrote the Da Vinci Code. So it's like a fun show, but it's like I don't know. I don't know how these Dan Brown novels get made into movies and shows. There's just so much like math and like puzzle piece putting together going on that it's kind of overwhelming. I mean, there can't be a huge audience for the show because I haven't met anyone else who's watched it. But it's pretty fun if you like that type of stuff. Like it's a mystery.
Honestly, that might be a fam show.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it might be. I mean, it would definitely be a fam show now that you mentioned it. Especially because now it's doing like the occult and the Freemasons and all. It gets into all that type of stuff, which is kind of interesting. Stuff. But it's kind of hard to make that into like an enjoyable TV show. And then so on Hulu, I've been watching Dope Sick, which is about like the OxyContin epidemic.
I've heard that's good.
It's really good. It's incredibly depressing. It's just like very sad because it tries to stay true to like the real life events where big pharma just always wins. Like they have the FDA in their pocket and but it does a good job of showing like how they got how big they are, and then also like how easy it is for just like normal people who meant well to get addicted to this stuff.
Right.
Because they almost had no other choice.
Is it Michael Keaton in that?
Yeah, so he plays like a small town doctor I think it was in Pennsylvania or West Virginia. But they show how like the marketing of Purdue Pharma, they made OxyContin. Like their marketing started in like really rural areas like Pennsylvania, West Virginia, like coal mining towns, because they did their research and they found, people working these really laborious jobs were the ones that had certain injuries.
Right.
So now don't take Percocet and Vicodin, take OxyContin. Like you can't get addicted to it. It works better for you. So they basically just lied about all the effects of it, got these people taking it, and then the addiction went from there. Yeah, and it just started ruining like whole areas of the country. It's wild, but it's really well acted. It's not an uplifting show by any means, but it is a good watch.
The pest control guy that came to my house today was very like Michael Keaton-esque. You know what I mean? Like
that's a compliment.
He sounded like Michael Keaton. He was very active like Michael Keaton. It was crazy.
Was it Michael Keaton?
Was he?
I don't think so. His name was Scott Murphy.
Oh, that sounds like an alias.
It does sound like an alias.
Scott Murphy.
Happy Easter, Adam. It's you.
Michael.
So a Holly show that I've been popping in on every now and again is the last ship.
Yeah, she told me about that. I'm interested.
It was very good from what I saw, and Holly liked it, which could go either way.
Could go either way.
She also liked Battleship. She doesn't have the best track record, but
I'll defend Holly's taste in all movies and TV.
You would appreciate that. But it's actually very, very interesting. So the show was from it's over now. It was on TNT. It was from 2014 to 2018, and it followed the crew of like this naval destroyer, which was like the last ship, quote unquote, when a pandemic killed off most of the Earth's population.
Wow.
So kind of crazy. This came out in 2014. So in a way, like I feel like it's picking up steam on like we watched it on Hulu. So I feel like people looking for a new binge will see that description and be like, oh, like a pandemic, you can kind of relate to it more than when it was on TV.
Yeah.
Like especially our generation. I mean, you don't before COVID, you didn't think like a pandemic. That's something that like happened 100 years ago. Like it would never happen to us. But it's like a fun action show, but also like actually pretty well written and very well acted. The main guy is, I don't know if you guys have ever watched Grey's Anatomy, but the actor's name is Eric Dane. So he played one of the he wasn't like in the original cast of Grey's Anatomy, but he played like one of the newer doctors that came on, and he was pretty popular. He was Dr. Sloan. He ended up being on for a number.
Oh, that's McSteamy, dude.
McSteamy, yeah.
Why
was on
did
for
you
like
say that?
I don't know. Well, it's weird to call another guy McSteamy.
That's his name.
Well, if you know that, you wouldn't know his name, his real
Dr.
name.
Sloan. So he's the main guy.
He's also in Euphoria, Ryan.
He is, yes. Yes, he is. Sure.
All right, sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, it's good. So he plays like the main guy, and then it's like his crew. But it's cool. It's got like the naval army aspect to it, where it's like, it's all about loyalty to your like commanding officers. But I didn't watch it straight through, but every time I would pop in this, I'm talking like a matter of hours. I would pop in. There's a totally new, insane storyline happening. I'm like, how is this? They're like, at first they're in like the middle of the ocean. Then now they're battling a drug cartel that's taken over all of South America. And then, 2 episodes later, it's this whole new crazy thing. But it seems like a pretty fun show. So if Holly likes it, I'm going to give it the stamp of approval, and I'll recommend The Last Ship. But if I have to recommend one thing from my list, it is The Last Man on Earth, which also...
So I thought you had already watched that.
I had, and we're rewatching it now. So we're always kind of looking for shows we've seen that like we watched when it was on, but never binged, rewatched. So we're like, you know what? We loved this when we watched it. It was on from 2014 to 2018 or 2019, I think. Another show that takes place like after a virus wiped out like almost the entire human race. A really, really solid dark comedy with like a very random cast that somehow works. Like it's Will Forte plays the main guy, then Kristen Schaal plays another character. January Jones is in it. Mary Steenburgen is in it. Jason Sudeikis is in it. It's a great dark comedy, and anyone who needs like a good comedic binge show, this is your show. It's on Hulu. It's great. I can't recommend it enough.
Okay.
And then to cap it off on Netflix, I'm currently watching season 3 of Narcos, which is another show I would highly recommend. Narcos is fucking fantastic.
I haven't seen it.
It's wild, and like I wouldn't like it as much if I didn't know what really happened. Like you could watch it and not get into it as much and be like, oh, this is crazy. But all of this stuff really happened. Like this was the drug wars of the 80s and 90s. It's so insane. But these people just went like untouched and could do whatever they want and just murder whoever they want, and they were making billions of dollars a day. It's crazy.
That's insane. The amount of money they made never ceases to amaze me.
Like Pablo Escobar lost like tens of billions of dollars to rats eating money he buried. Tens of billions. He didn't care. He just didn't want the government to get it. It's like so wild, but it makes it more enjoyable knowing that like this actually happened. It's just a really
they do
really
like one of those disclaimers before every episode saying like this happened.
Yeah, they put like it's like the events of this are real. Like some of the names have been changed, but it's like really well acted. It's just like a really fun show, and it's constant entertainment. Like there's no downtime. There's no like down episodes. Like someone's always getting murdered or something insane is happening. So it's on season 3, I believe, on Netflix. So another high recommend. That's it. Been watching a lot.
Beautiful list.
Wow.
All right. Well, we can't take too long to do this again.
No,
I know. We'll have to. We'll keep it going. I'm pretty. I think we can squeeze one in before Thanksgiving, and hopefully we'll have a draft. Didn't we have a draft topic?
I think
before we.
I think we did. I'll have to go back.
I gotta go back and look.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think we had a good. I think one of us came up with a good. I remember, and we're like psyched about it. Then it just never happened. But anyway, it's been great. 134.
134,
right?
Baby.
134, the Average Nobody's podcast in the books. Justine, I hope you're happy. Please leave me alone now. Please leave us alone. No, we're glad to be back. We're happy to be back. It was too long.
Yeah. But my house workings should be like all the stuff I've been doing at my house has been outside, and like not gonna be able to do that shortly. So
Yeah. Cool. All right,
All right.
guys.
Happy Easter.
Talk to you later. Happy Easter.